All right, good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing today? Let's see if you guys start logging in here. I see some people are in the room. Let me know if you could hear me, if you're just getting in. Testing, testing. Miles, all right. Anthony, thank you guys. Appreciate that. Hello, Larry, Keith. All right, well, let's just do a quick recap of what's happened so far. Pound Aussie, kind of in this no man's land here, getting in sync with the short trade right in this area, and then having to flip to long, which we don't know how that's going to turn out yet. Definitely moved up and made a new high here. Now support has been holding, which is good, but difficult to tell. Long from 16 after a stop and reverse adjustment, 8016. It did poke up and get long. So that's the trade, and it is targeting, well, kind of a small target there at 2.5. You really need to go to target 2 at 3.2, 3.9, and 4.7, especially after the adjustment up to 16. So hopefully we get another leg higher here. Can go either way at this point. Potential stop and reverse again also forming, which that's also the risk, especially when there's no energy. As you can see, it's just been languishing. But the fact that support has been holding, so far so good. We'll see. The market's opening up at the moment. Really quick short on the YM, probably too fast for anyone to grab. Could get in sync with it if it comes up. 32,746 hasn't been able to get high enough to hit the entry yet. It did not get low enough to hit the money management, so this trade is still viable. If it comes up, could trigger in, and if it does, the stop would be at 786, and it would be targeting that first target of 714. Still not quite hitting the entry. Almost, not quite. There it is. All right, well, if anyone's short, definitely can go either way also. Can go up, can go down. So you can see this is not the most friendly pattern here coming into the session, but that is the first trade of the morning for the YM. If you have any questions on that, let me know. We'll look at this in a bit. Oh yeah, the crude oil 8 tick is up here now. I forgot I moved it. The 9 a.m., look at this, has just been such a great trade lately. One and done on this short yellow trade, hitting all its targets. Second trade if needed, but the first trade got the work done, and the 8 tick momentum. Now that is the J contract. Let's see. We should actually be, even though it's a day earlier than usual, let me check the K. I don't know if you guys have checked the volume on the K contract yet. I haven't checked it yet. So it could be that the K contract is where you should be. You can see the April J contract got the work done, and if you're in that still, great. Looking at the K. Either way, it's the same trade, luckily, and one and done regardless. Slightly different, but K is where we need to be. That's where more volume is, and it could happen before the 18th. Today's the 17th. And remember, we are on the June contract now for the E-minis, and this trade is still happening. Could go either way. Don't forget, today is the crude oil report, which we will do. And if I can remind you all, please, to hit the like button. Like the session, like the video. Appreciate that very much. Little by little, people are showing up. Good morning, Brett. Good morning, Giancarlo. You could see pound Aussie just hanging in there. At this point, anything could happen. So unleaded gas looks like it probably rolled over to K also. The J contract definitely getting it done. RBK. Give that a chance to load. Yeah, so there's the May contract, and fantastic. I mean, that's as good as it gets, really. One and done. Everything else has happened before the start time. So the energy is trading up at these prices, crude and unleaded gas, just really trading nice. We've seen that for a while. You want to take advantage of it. When the getting is good, you got to get it. If anyone has any questions, let's just take a quick look. Unleaded gas stopping out on that trade, so that one finishing. Definitely sideways price action, and if I remember correctly, look at something really fast here. I think we got FOMC today, don't we? FOMC statement today. Market's kind of trading like that, at least the E-minis are. So the 6 pip momentum bar on the euro yen just is too slow for this trade room. It may be a good chart to trade, but it's too slow. I mean, that's going to bore us to tears. Let me check in on this another time. And the 5 tick, not much better. The 5 pip, I mean. We'll keep an eye on those long trades, but I'm going to have to find a better chart chart to occupy this space. We do have the soybeans chart, which we'll take a look at using counterpunch, and this is an old steady plan. So possible stop and reverse now on the YM. That would be at 81. Want to really get it. 2-tick adjustment, pushes it to 79, and then work around the key level. It looks like it's going to hit it, and it did. So getting long. Now we got to navigate above this resistance, but there it goes. So 81, targeting 806. I'm sorry, not 81. Yeah, 781, but targeting 806 and 822. The stop's at 742. So breaking out to the upside. And there it is, hitting its money management and target 1. So unfortunately wiggled into that short trade, but just that could happen. Flipping over to long. And after the adjustment, it should be a 25-point target 1. Of course, the break-even stop is not accounting for our adjusted entry. You may want to give this trade a little room here, because if you move your stop up too fast, all the way to 82, you might get stopped out and miss another leg higher. It did just hit 82. And here's another leg higher. Perhaps. Trying anyway. Got to give these trades room. Let me know if you're in that YM trade. Just want to quickly look at soybeans. Remember, it starts at 8:30. Got the short. Comes down, gets to target 2, soybeans, ho-hum, one and done. This has been, I mean, it's amazing how I haven't looked at this in a long time. I don't know, a couple years maybe. And it still looks exactly the same, does exactly the same. It's been a real durable plan, and you could see just by looking at it on any random day that it just continues to do what it was originally designed to do. So any of you looking for an additional thing to trade, I would recommend taking a good close look at soybeans with Counterpunch Trader. We had a good plan for wheat futures also. I remember we used a 200 tick chart. That might be interesting to look at. All this, economic stimulus hitting the pipelines of our economy, it's possible that commodities and other assets are going to heat up. Elements of inflation are going to find their way in. All right, so the attendance growing even more. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. Kind of recapped what's happening. Crude oil and unleaded gas both hitting its goals with the first trade. The YM trying to hit its goal with the second trade. I didn't really do the math on that first trade, how much it lost. Got short at 46. Got long at 81. So 35 points. Definitely need more than a target one winner. The stop now should be at 84. And the pound Aussie got short and flipped to long, and it's just been kind of languishing here with no real price action, and it hasn't been able to get above the prior swing high, but support has been holding this far. It could either capitulate down hard, it might start inching its way up, could keep going sideways, could get a stop and reverse. It gets us out of the long again to short, and that is a potential which seems to be forming. That would kind of be the worst of today's session, but you could see it's nothing. I mean, what are you going to do when you're looking at your setups here? That first short looked pretty good, and then you got the long off the 50 moving average with everything expanding upwards and seemingly an action reaction, maybe another action up, but the action up has not really been much of an action, so we could kind of end up with this thing where we have to get out of the long trade also. Hopefully not, but this is a short trade forming here, which I realize completely sucks, but it is what it is. William, 9 a.m. is the typical start time that I just use as a, it's what we've used for the longest time. And with the 8-tick momentum bar, there's mini sessions of 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Yeah, this is looking like this is going to give us a short setup here, and then the 2-pip adjustment. Yeah, this just sucks, and it's at the 1.8 thousand key level too. Yeah, see, there it is. So that's going to be 7999 basically, the stop and reverse. It's just not good. Hopefully it heads higher. The pound Aussie has really been kind of trading in this malaise of a pattern on the longer term chart. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but you could see really the issue we've been having since, well, I'll show you in a moment here. You could see that this is going to flip to short any second. Yeah, so I mean, depending on your broker, it missed the 999 by 0.2 of a tick on TradeStation. It's probably still going to stab down and hit it, I'm guessing. This market looks like it wants to go down here, or sideways and just continue to be garbage. So, every Forex pair goes through these periods of time. It's just a question of when it's going to break out. frustrating. Keep an eye on that. Just to kind of illustrate what our experience has been with the pound Aussie as of late, is that you've got this stretching all the way back over a month, about a month, where you've got this sort of thing happening. So you got this really tight range, and then you have the fake breakout down, no follow through. Fake breakout up a couple times, but butting up against the 200 moving average. And, you know, just the range has been horrible and flaky. And this has affected our day trading for sure. And you can see there's been some good days which have helped, but there's been a lot of garbage sessions too. And the longer term chart kind of reflects what we're experiencing on this pair right now. And you could see with the high trend chop indicator that we are in the chop zone on the daily chart. And it's just the energy on this pair has really gone down. Hopefully it revives soon. But this is what we're up against. Let's see if we reduce this down. Usually there's really good range and movement. But that kind of gives you an idea when you put it into perspective and you scale it, dating all the way back to a year ago. Kind of been living with it, this long, slow, possible saucer style rounding reversal maybe. Hard to say. But little, you know, when you get up to the high level of a big point of view and you look down on it, gives you a different point of view and perspective on kind of what we've been experiencing with this pair. These are just arrows from a different chart, but clearly you could see in the past the range and the tradability has just been so much better than it is in here. See? Anyway, that's what it is. So the YM got short. Well, first of all, the YM came up and hit its target 3. So depending on what positions you're trading, 45 point, 60 point, well, after the adjustment a little less, but you could see that it could be a power of quitting depending on your positions here on the YM. And if you need a third trade, it is short again, 32,802. Although get the sense this market may want to go higher. So if anyone has any questions about anything, please let me know. Officially, this pound Aussie chart on this trade station chart is still long. It did not quite hit the stop and reverse. Almost. Brett asking if the price doesn't hit the stop and reverse, will I take that same trade later if the price hits it again? If nothing changes, I mean, if the conditions remain the same, then yes. And I realize that the trade a day service chart and signal was different than mine. Kevin and I keep trying to sync up our charts so that they are the same, and TradeStation has helped us with that, but it still doesn't seem to be quite right because his setup was different, and I realized he put out a short setup at 8004. Well, and that may end up being better for any of you who are in the trade a day, saving a little money there, especially if this heads lower. So all he can do is trade his chart, and all I can do is trade my chart. It's Forex is challenging because there's just no centralization, and TradeStation not being a Forex broker complicates things, and the brokers that do exist just don't have the charting that we need to get the trades we need. They don't have the momentum bars. They don't have the strategy that will work on their platform. It's just one of those things that we have to work with the imperfections. Dawn, yeah, so I was looking at what Kevin put his out. Like you probably saw, it was at 04. My charts are showing 01, and then you adjust down below the key level and the stop and reverse adjustment, etc. So mine finally got short too, but getting short at 04 would have been better. So you guys had a little bit of benefit on that, especially if it heads lower. Just the price action's been very anemic, and we just have to be patient. The YM hitting another winner, so if you didn't hit power of quitting on the second trade here, this yellow trade, then certainly the third trade got the job done, so that's good news. Power of quitting on the YM, and if you're joining us late, we already hit our goals with crude oil, unleaded gas, Dowie Mini, as I just said. And we started looking at soybean futures again because this has been such a long time great plan, and it's actually come back to life. Maybe it has been. I just haven't looked at it in a while. And this one is one and done. And one cool thing about this is that it's usually going to give you that one and done. I mean, it wins a lot. Doesn't mean you're going to always get one and done. But also, it trades like the ES, so it's $50 a point, $12.50 a tick, 4 ticks to the point. This one here was 11 ticks. So, what's that, 162.50, I think? I'm doing the math in my head right. Target 2, 17 ticks, so that's 212.50. So nice little trade there for those of you interested in something different. And this is a continuous chart, but we're in the May contract. Let me put it in the May contract, actually. That's what we should be on. Let's double check this. If anyone's in the YM, the stop has moved lower, 32,787. 32,787 right there. Yeah, so 30,000 contracts so far this morning in May. I mean, that's enough to trade. There's enough action there. You don't want to take huge positions, but as a supplemental trade plan to give you a little extra diversification, something else to do, a simple trade plan that's really cut and dry and very efficient and mechanical. It's mostly mechanical. Not a lot to have to scratch your head over on that one. It's a good supplemental complementary plan. Could work for a lot of you. Stop just moved down to 86 on the YM. So in about 15 minutes or so, we're going to end this session, and then I will restart a new one for the crude oil report. If you haven't done so already, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We're starting to schedule these. And I was going to book, actually, the additional session that I've been promising you all for, except that now I'm getting my COVID shot, my first one. My name came up, and I'm going to jump on it. And so I just didn't want to schedule a session a day or two after. I kind of want to make sure I don't have any reactions or whatever. So a little bit of a delay again on our fast test session. I haven't forgotten about it. We're going to do it. Looking forward to it, actually. Probably going to do a number of them. And some of you might, jump in and tune in and check it out, and then it might bore you to tears, and I totally get it. But if you can learn the skill and you could start doing it on your own, then that's the most important thing. And some of you might actually love just getting into the minutia. I don't know. We'll see. I know for me it's like a necessary process, and I need to spend more time doing it. It's like one of those things where I run out of day before I run out of all the stuff I want to do. I'm sure I'm not the only one with that problem. Stop on the YM is pushed down now to 78. It's already hit its target 2. I mean, the trading has just been really nice for the most part on the YM. Every now and then we get a stinker, but it's been a great market. This 14 tick momentum bar has just really done well. And I haven't been tracking the trades, but as we watch it session after session after session, I mean, it typically wins. Typically, remember the whole Spotlight Master Suite goal is to quit your session with a positive result a vast majority of the time, while controlling your drawdown with minimal and efficient trading. That is the primary objective of the Spotlight, and really should be your primary objective with all your trading anyway. But we use then our techniques of fast testing to prove we can quit our sessions positive most of the time. We still have to prove that it's profitable because, you might still be quitting positive, but not enough. And that's when we then dedicate our best fast test results to more work with the UTA spreadsheet. All right, so the stop has moved to 67. I don't think you want to put it all the way up above that moving average. It's too big of an adjustment. So 1 or 2 ticks are okay. 3 ticks sometimes, 4 ticks rarely. This would be more than that to adjust above the 50 moving average. So we'll leave the stop at 66. Hitting target 3. Hey JP, asking for the URL for Counterpunch. JP, I'm not sure what you're referring to. There's a member site. There's a sales page. There's Counterpunch Express. Maybe be a little more specific, and I'll see what I could dig up for you. There's the old NetPick site, which I don't have really access to. Yeah. Let me know what you're after, and I'll follow up with you. Yeah, so where you can get the trade plans. 1 second. So you have to have a membership, and if you do, then I could send you the login information, because the URL, I don't know that would help you without login, and I can't check what you have. I'm sure you already know. And are you referring to Counterpunch Express or Counterpunch Trader? Because those are both different. Do me a favor and send me an email. It would be easier to help you. Okay, yeah, do you have one with me or with NetPicks? I just, unfortunately, I'm not an encyclopedia at it now. But if you send me an email, double check for you and get you the information. Troy@backpacktrader.com. Yeah, and the soybeans, if that's the one you're looking for, is my guess. It's on there. Hasn't changed. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I've got a couple of the session playing on different computers just to keep tabs, and they all have spinning wheels. So I'm not sure if you guys are even hearing me here. I'm going to be ending this session in a moment, and we'll restart it for our crude oil report. All right, I have no idea if you guys hear me. I don't know. I can't tell anymore. All my monitoring of the channel seems to be disconnected and the spinning wheel. I'm going to hit end stream now, and we'll be back shortly for the crude oil report. I apologize if you still hear me. Yeah, 1080p. Oh, Don Parker with good information. Now I see you guys hear me. All right, thank you for that. Don saying that he changed his video resolution to 1080p 60. Yeah, that's what it should be. That's what I'm broadcasting as. I think I'm broadcasting at that. I should be. This YouTube stuff could be a lot easier than it is. And they always move stuff and hide stuff and make things hard to find. And I get these messages that don't make sense because I already did what they're messaging me to do. And that's kind of annoying. But anyway, if you, Don, if that's working for you, that's great, because that means I probably got all my settings correct. Definitely want to be 1080 with the 60. The 1080p 60 is 60 frames a second, so that's should be really clean. I'm happy that it is. I appreciate you letting me know. So at this point in time, I'm still seeing spinning wheels. I got to reset and refresh, and we're going to get ready for the crude oil report anyway. If you have any questions or want to review anything, just let me know. We could do that when I start the next round here in the next few moments. Give me about, I don't know, up to 10 minutes at the most, and I'll be back online. You guys can log back in, and we'll attack that crude oil session. So I'll see you guys shortly. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. Got my tin cup out there. Throw a couple quarters in it for me. Talk to you later. Or see you soon, I should say.